This is an early 1990s Bose wave radio, model AWR1-1W, and is allegedly in non-working condition. It's in fairly good condition for a 30-plus-year-old unit. There are no major cosmetic defects evident aside from the slight yellowing color of the cabinet. And it's a little bit dirty, a little bit dusty, but not too bad. So we will investigate and repair this clock radio. So if this interests you, stay tuned. Alrighty, so this is the first version of these Bose clock radios, and this one, according to the date code, was made in 1994, and I believe they started in 1993. So we repaired a newer version of one of these a while back, and it'd be interesting to see if this has a similar component failure, I guess, assuming it doesn't work. But yeah, well, let me find a cord for it and we will power it up and see what happens. Alright, we got a cord put on it. The wattage is not on the tag, so I don't know how much current it's supposed to draw. I guess we'll fire it up. See, oh, I do have it on a dim bulb just in case there's something crazy wrong with it. And the display is very, very dim. Yeah, I probably can't see it. Well, let me readjust the camera and I'll show you. Alright, I got all the lights off and it does appear on camera that it's pretty bright, but trust me, it's really dim. So let's turn our lights on and let's see, how do we turn this thing on? Alright. All right.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
That's interesting. So the volume has no effect on the noise. So in an old tube radio, that would be the filter capacitors. Very, very noisy. So that's probably what we got here. So let's take it apart. Let's see if I can remember how to do this, and I'll be right back. Alright, I decided to film this part just in case someone wants to know how to take these apart. And so the battery backup, I assume that's for the clock, is missing, and our felt feet are not in very good shape, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Yeah, probably a good idea to turn the damn power off. Last thing I need to be is shocked. So yeah, it's coming back to me. There's connectors and ribbon cables in here. Let's see. All right, let me pause this and fiddle with this a little bit. Man, what a pain in the ass. Good grief. I think I found the problem on the side of the radio, the right side. If you're looking from the back, looks like there's probably the AM loop stick antenna, and it's got some foam adhesive, and I think that's what's holding us up. So I'm just carefully, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. Good grief. All right. So we probably got some stuff to, I'm sure this is way out of frame here. So there's looks like a cable here and a couple plugs there. Let me unplug those off camera, and hopefully this will come apart. All right, I got this in a position so I can show you before I took it apart. There's a ribbon cable, looks like right here. Hopefully you can see that. And there's a plug here, and a plug here. So it looks like two plugs and a ribbon cable. So let me get that disconnected. We'll be right back. All right, my apologies. It's just one plug in the ribbon cable. This probably the transformer plug, so not too bad. So let me get the camera repositioned and we'll take a look at the board. All right. Oh, I did forget to mention I did pop this display cover off. It's not too bad. Just be real careful you don't flex that old plastic too much and break something. So I would strongly urge anyone that tries to repair one of these to make damn sure you loosen up this foam tape on that AM loop stick antenna, or you're going to break it or break a wire or something. So, anyhoot, I looked over the board and I don't see any bulging capacitors, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. So luckily, there is a schematic available for this. So in the corner of the board here, let me show you on the close-up camera. We have 179551. And I'll try to remember to put a link where to download the schematic for this. It's 1994. And there's actually two 6-digit boards in that PDF, and luckily ours is one of them. So that should help. I'm sure a guy could just go in and shotgun all the capacitors and fix it, but I mean, what fun would that be? I'm curious to know what the major failure point with this is. And that other one we did had surface mount caps, and these are all through hole. So there's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a good 25, maybe even 30 caps. So I would like to find, like I said, the major issue with this. It's usually only 1 or 2 caps. Since our the terrible noise coming out of the speakers, I suspect it's one of these 3 capacitors, maybe even the big filter. I don't know. My experience is these big filter caps usually last a long time because they have a lot of juice in them and it takes a long time to dry out. It's usually one of these little small peckers that get you. So I'm going to have a look at the schematic, do some snooping around and see what we can find. All right, this is a condensed schematic. I have cut and pasted different sections from different pages and whatnot, kind of inserted it in here so you can see what's going on. So the first thing you need to do when you're troubleshooting is check your DC voltage. The different voltage readings here and there. So just going right to left, or left to right. The first one was positive 13.5, and I had 16.2 volts. And so the next one was minus 21, and that one was minus 12, so there's something going on there. And then 20 volts here, we had 17.8 volts, so pretty close. And then we have a minus 7, and I had 0 when checking that, and our plus 7 was like 6.6 volts. So there's something going on. We got our AC voltage comes in here, goes through a diode to get DC voltage through, I guess, is a regulating transistor, and out to minus 7 volts. So potentially could be this capacitor, and the lower voltage on this side, could potentially be this capacitor. So it's kind of difficult to measure these voltages because you have to find places on the board where you can measure it on the top side, because you can't get to the bottom side with everything connected together to make it power up. So we'll go to the board. Bump the camera. Come over here. All right. So that 13.5 volts. Let me flick this on. The audio amp pin 3 as that voltage, and we got 16 volts, and it's high because we don't have the radio turned on, so that's good. So the next was our minus 21 volts, and shoot, I'm gonna have to, oh, I can see it now. Just barely. So we got minus 11 volts. And on the, let's see, what's the other one? Plus 20 volts. If I can sneak in here. Oops, I got the right spot. Oh, wrong spot, sorry. 17 volts, 17.8-ish. So, and to get the plus 7 and minus 7, we actually, hold on a sec, I have to look and see on the schematic. Alright, sorry, I had to reposition the camera to get this minus 7 and plus 7. So, U203, pin 1 is supposed to be minus 7, and pin 16 is supposed to be plus 7. So, pin 1, we have minus 0.7, and 16, we have 6.9 volts, which is almost 7 volts, so there's something going on with that negative rail. That minus 21 was minus 12, I believe, so the, let's see, let me move this here. I believe this capacitor serves our negative rail, minus 21 volts, and this one does our positive rail. So actually, let's check the AC voltage, our ripple. Let me go back to that. So, pin 16. Oop, no, that was right. No ripple. And that, just a little bit of ripple. So, actually, let's check. So on our minus 20, yeah, we got 5 volts of ripple. And our plus 20, if I can see it, yeah, we got 2 volts. So both those capacitors are probably not good. So let's replace those two and see what happens. Okay, I thought I would just show this part in case it's not clear. So we need to remove the transformer mounted to the this plastic bottom piece, because the board essentially just floats there except for the transformer, and with the 4 screws that were on the bottom, I guess that secures the board as well. So for the people that don't do this a lot, I just thought I'd show how we so I think the whole thing just should come out. There we go. All right, let me flip it over and we'll look at those caps. I decided to unplug the transformer from the board just to make it easier. This plug just unplugs there, and this one was really freaking tight. So I had to get in there with a small screwdriver and a big screwdriver and pry under there to get it moving, and it was ridiculously tight. All right. So these two are caps in question. So let's see what our capacitor tester says, which I don't know. It's not that reliable, but we'll just see for see for giggles what it says. 10 ESR on that one. 5.9 on that one. So yeah, 10 ESR. We had more ripple I think this is the negative side one, the positive side one. So let me get the soldering iron fired up and take those out. Alright, so this is one of those damn two-sided boards. And it has the very high heat solder, and they're a real pain in the ass to get out or get the capacitors or whatever you're trying to take out. So what you want to do is flood them with the lower melting point solder, and I've had best luck with just then going back in and heating them up and rocking them until they come out. I don't know if I'll be able to get this on camera. Let me readjust the focus here. I don't know if this is going to work. Just working it back and forth. Yeah, entertaining video, I know. You just want to be careful that, if at all possible, you don't lift the damn solder pads. Alright, well, you get the idea. I'm going to finish this up off camera. Alright, so they came out without damaging the board. So the next sucky part of this is getting the damn solder out of the holes, and that can sometimes be a pain. So the way I do it is take some solder wick and change my glasses here. Taking, now that one cleaned it out. That one didn't. That one didn't. It usually doesn't. Alright, so what I do is take a poker. We heat our solder and get our poker in there to make the hole. Alright, let me finish those other two. We'll be right back. Alright, that's the test of our 470 microfarad, very high ESR, and it's only showing 100 microfarad. That was on our negative rail. That was super bad. Let's see what this one is. So this one's 1,000, so it's got relatively high ESR and low capacitance, only 373 out of 1,000. So let me dig up some caps and be right back. Alright, so here's our replacement caps on the right. I use the Nishikon UPWs. They're low ESR capacitors. And I think they still make them. Pretty sure. UPW and UPM. I think UPM is the one they're phasing out. but they're, like I said, the low ESR, good for filtering DC. So let me get those soldered in, and we'll see what if that fixed anything. All right, our caps are soldered in. You want to make sure you have the right polarity. The negative is the stripe, and it was luckily marked on the board. Boards can sometimes be wrong, so I always check it before I desolder it. So let's get this stupid thing back together and see what happens. All right, got it back together. I only put a couple screws on the transformer in case we have to replace other stuff. And this damn, man, that connector is tight. I didn't put it all the way down so I can get the screwdriver in there so I can back it back out of there if we need to. So let's see what happens.
Hey, it's Nudia from Vocalo. That means July 11th. Now you do. Join me for Vocalo's free summer meltdown concert at Bottom Lounge.
I can't see the.
We'll have merch giveaways and surprise guests. Learn more at wbez.org/events.
Huh. Two lousy capacitors. Oh, we do have the display to screw with. The display was dim. Let me get this put together. So I doubt if that fixed that, but let me get this together where we can see the display. All right, so the display is there, but it's dim. Make sure our radio still works. 89.5. I didn't even know there was a. Oh, that's FM. Let's see. Let's try AM. It's picking up the. I guess it's got auto seek. See if it gets my local. Wow. No AM reception. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm going to have to go back to the schematic and look and see what capacitors go to that display. Okay. So this is the schematic for the display driver, and this cap here is our part of our filter for the display voltage, and incidentally that voltage going in is minus 21 volts. That's our voltage rail that we fixed. I mean, it seems a little bit brighter, but any hoot, that's the cap in question. So it is that cap there, and I'll show you on the close-up. So what's this? This little cap here. So I tested it with the cap tester, which is not necessarily that accurate, as I've said before a million times. Whoops. 237 at 2.5 volts. So actually that's a, what was that, a 4.7 microfarad? Yeah, it could be. If it's testing high like that, it might be getting capacitance on that minus 21 volt rail. I don't know. But the other thing is these displays do get dimmer with time. So I don't know, I don't have that much faith that replacing that cap's going to fix it, but we'll give it the old college try. All right, to get this display board out, we need to take that off. And there's some tabs in here. I guess we pry down. Alrighty, I apologize if my voice sounds different. In the middle of finishing this video, my mic preamp went out. So I'm voice-overing this last little bit here, so I'm struggling to get that control pad off the radio. I eventually do get it off. I just pry on the back there, and while prying with the tabs, and there you can see it's popped up, and you just have to push it forward towards the front of the radio. And I must be demonstrating that with the hand motions. And there's a connector in the front. I don't know, it's like 18 pin or something that it slides out of there. And there you have it. There's our connector. As I'm pointing to them, how nice. So now we should be able to get that front circuit board off. It struggled with it a little bit at first. There's a couple of round tabs at the bottom that poke through the board, but you just rock the top forward. And I think eventually I point at those tabs. Eventually, I'm looking, I'm struggling, pulling the wire out of the way. And yeah, now I'm pointing. Oh, there's the tab. Yeah, okay. So you got to just pull it forward. There you go. And she comes out. Out of frame. Very nice. It's actually kind of fun doing the voiceover. So now we have access to our board. We're going to, I'm pointing at, that's the little capacitor we need to replace. And I say I don't have much confidence that that's going to fix it. And now we're testing the cap that's removed. And it tests good. 3.5 ESR, I think it says, at 4.86. So there was nothing wrong with that capacitor. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that capacitor. So we put our new capacitor in. And I have the split screen there. I had to bend the leads down because that little capacitor is a small form factor, and that board won't go back in because that cap would sit too high, so you just have to bend that down. So that's one way of sneaking a larger capacitor into an area that doesn't take it, assuming you have room to the side to bend it down. So here's our initial test to see how our display works, and it's not brighter at all. I have the lights turned out so you can see it. I mean, it might be a little bit brighter. It's kind of tough to tell, but these displays, I don't remember if I mentioned it, they have a fluorescent tube in it, and after hours and hours of use, they get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And I'm showing there is a way to adjust the dimness. You hit the clock set and the volume, and that didn't do any good. So we need to, well, we can't get a new display. I'm sure they're not available. Could possibly put a new backlight in it, either a fluorescent tube or squirrel in a LED of some sort. If anyone is interested in seeing that, note it in the comment, and I'll put it on the to-do list to do a future video on it. I don't know if it's possible, if I can get that old display apart or not to attempt that, but anyway, we gave it the old college try, and we'll go on to final thoughts. Alrighty, so again, if my voice sounds different, that's because I'm on my backup preamp. The preamp I usually use, that's one that I built, and I think it had a pretty good sound, but I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe that's a future video. I have to fix that. But anyway, we got the Bose back together. The display, I mean, it looks, I think it is brighter because with all my lights on, I couldn't see the display. I can see it now. The camera's not picking it up. But actually, for me, I like the display really dim because I don't like to sleep with every time I roll over, I have a blaring clock in my eyeball, so that's fine with me. But maybe we can do a future video on doing a backlight for it if anyone shows interest in it. It might be fun to do. I don't know if it's doable. I don't know if we can take that display apart to get to it. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, I think this was a pretty good video on how to diagnose and fix these without just shotgunning them. Probably, if you're going to use this as a daily driver, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't really know what if all these capacitors usually go, or I mean the radio's what, 30, 35 years old? I don't know. But we replaced the two that needed to be replaced to get the thing working. And we went through the schematic, which fortunately was available. It would be a lot more work to figure it out otherwise. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.